Alright, hello ladies, gentlemen, and gamers. Welcome to what I believe to be the 9th Chris Allen recap. And oh mama, do we have a lot to go over. So, similar to the philosophy one, I'm probably gonna have a lot of trouble going over this one. Probably a lot of trouble. Because I am mostly very confused on how to go about things, and I'm describing a lot of things that are sort of hard to talk about because I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. So, before anything, let me explain the image, because some people may not even understand or quite know what this is even about. And it has to do with this recap, don't get me wrong. But, basically I'll spoil the little surprise. It's about Warframe. It's about Warframe. You can see the Bratton right there in this lovely Warframe's hand. I don't quite know which one this is, but that's okay. But Warframe is only a part of this Chris Allen recap. This Chris Allen recap is larger in terms of kind of scope and what I want to talk about, although I'll be trying to keep it concise. That's ultimately going to fail. And that is what brings me to my first point that I want to talk about, which is kind of mentality. And this is very apparent with me and my mentality towards things. My mentality is sort of kind of like a perfectionist's mentality, where if it doesn't go the exact way I want it to go in reality, as in my mind, then don't do it. For instance, I want all of my streams and all of my videos and everything I do, online at least, to be, for better or for worse term, perfect. And what I mean by that is I want it to be entertaining, I want it to be concise, I want it to be, I don't know what other word for perfect is, and that's kind of what I'm going to get into, is like, what do I really want? I say I want these things to be perfect, but the Chris Allen recaps are literally just me describing shit and talking about shit. Most likely, I guess the problem I have is I do it most likely in a very incoherent and all over the place way, which I don't like. And because of that, I often think, wow, there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about, but I get into this mentality of, oh, because it's not perfect, or because I don't think I could do it how I want to, I end up not even doing it at all. And basically, my advice, both to myself and to anyone watching this, is don't get hung up on how you're gonna do something. And this is kind of relating to my whole fucking job search panic attack I had a couple days ago, but that's potentially another recap, but I don't really want to share that. Don't get too hung up on wondering what you're gonna do or wondering how to do something. I would say the best thing to do is just do it. And, perfect example is what I'm doing right now. Like I said, with this Chris Allen recap, I didn't know how it was gonna go, and the way I imagine it, or the way I want it to go, is one way. The way I imagined it going was a completely different way, which was terrible. And how it's actually going so far, as I'm actually doing it right now, is actually not that bad, and I kind of like it. So, again, just to reiterate, instead of getting hung up on stuff, you gotta just go and do it. Because in my opinion, and why I usually ended up doing a lot of the Chris Allen recaps, including this one, is I'd rather have the ideas out there, even if it's incoherent. That's better than not having any ideas at all. It's similar to the phrase of, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I don't know if that's a complete and good one-to-one analogy, but it's the closest one I got off the top of the head, because again, these Chris Allen recaps are literally just me just speaking, so it's gonna be sloppy. But anyway, yeah, just do. The most important part of a lot of things in life is just doing. Don't think about it, just fucking go and do it. Even if it's shitty, even if it's bad, even if it's not how you want it to be, doing it is way better than not doing it. And God, that could be applied to so many wrong things, but that's quite okay. Let me actually lower the music. It might be a little bit too loud. I don't want it to be too loud. I want my voice, my lovely, sexy, illustrious voice, to be the main call. But anyway, we're already 5 minutes into this shit, and I haven't said a word about Warframe. And I just chose Warframe because it's a cool picture and I've been thinking about it recently. But the next topic I'd like to talk about is, if we just talked about mentality towards, you know, doing things, I want to bring that forward towards mentality towards gaming. Now, what is pretty evident to me, and maybe even to my friends, might not be evident to the people online who watch me, which is no one, but regardless, I'll believe there's someone. So, there's some things that I believe should be said multiple times just to make sure people know about it. And one of those things is my mentality towards gaming. And how it's changed over the years. Originally, I played games because I really, really liked them. I had fun playing them, and I could play them for like easily, 12 hours a day. No problem, like whatsoever. Easy 12-hour a day. I could play the same game too. Now, you could argue maybe I was a stupid little kid, which I would absolutely agree with. But as I got older, it kind of changed to more of a collectionist type of thing. Don't get me wrong, I still have decent fun in games sometimes, but it's nowhere near the amount of mindless fun I used to have. Now in games, nowadays, what I play for is either to collect something, to do a certain objective, and that's basically it. And that might have to do with oversaturation of just how many games I've played or how many games I have available to play. Because God knows when I was younger, I would be lucky to get a new game in a year. But anyway. Now I'm kind of, flooded with games I could play at any time and I've never even touched and they're brand new. But in general, when I play a game, like League, like COD, like anything, I have a certain goal in mind. And for Warframe, now we could finally get into the fucking picture, it was no different. In Warframe, I went in because I heard it was a grinding game, and God was it. And my mentality was, okay, I want to collect everything. And this was similar to the mentality I had when I played Destiny. I want to collect all the exotics. And I would say there was a shift in my mentality. There was 3 different mentalities I had. I'm going to keep saying mentality. It's going to annoy the fucking shit out of me. There was a different change in my mindset. Let's call it that. So the first mindset I had when I was younger was, I just want to fucking play. The second mindset I had when I was like, I guess, middle-aged gamer, apart from baby gamer, was I want to collect everything. And then the adult mentality, which is what I have now, is I want to collect what I care about and what I can that's not too much of a hassle or that matters. And you can see the complexity has gone up, meaning hopefully I've gotten smarter as I've aged, but a lot of people might disagree with me on that. But in general, you could see the progression. When I was a baby gamer, I wanted to just play. I didn't care about collecting, I just wanted to do shit. Then I cared about collecting everything. Now I care about collecting certain things. For instance, I want to complete battle passes, unless the battle pass is very unappealing. If it has just complete and utter jack shit, I at most want to grind it for like the currency, aka the V-Bucks or the COD points, just to make a profit, because I'm a businessman. But in general, in events and stuff now, like in the League events for the passes, if you're familiar with those, there's exclusive stuff you can get that I just don't care about anymore. Middle-aged gamer me would have absolutely tried to grind them, but older age gamer me kind of questions, why the fuck am I doing that if I'm not going to use them and they're not really that good either way? Like, what's the point aside from clout and rarity? And I kind of strayed away from that as time went on. Now, how this relates to fucking Warframe. Recently, I've been thinking about Warframe, and to finally give perspective and context to why I'm talking about it, I would say maybe a year ago, or maybe even in the summer. No, because this was before COVID. Yeah, this was before COVID, and during COVID, during the beginning of COVID. I got heavily into Warframe. I never played Warframe before, for the most part. I actually started up, played the intro mission, then quit it, because I was like, I don't understand what's going on. But I was like, let me go back to it, because I love grinding games. And boy golly gee, I no-lifed Warframe. I, every week, was clocking in, like, probably, like, 60 hours, 50 hours. Like, it was ridiculous what I was clocking into that game. I would just get up, play Warframe, just do it, because I was in the early stages, and then just leave. And this occurred for, you know, a couple months. COVID happened. I did it while I was in school too, while I was in online classes. And yeah, I eventually got to the point where in Warframe I got what I wanted, which was the OP Warframes. And for those of you who don't know, kind of have a lot of explaining to do this Chris Allen recap about a lot of things. In Warframe is notoriously, I would say, known as the game that makes you too powerful. A lot of things in Warframe, the characters you use and the weapons you get, are so ridiculously overpowered, everything in the game becomes trivial. Now, to get to that point, I would argue is the fun part. To get to the point where you get those things and max them out and, you know, edit them and put... I'm not going to go too in-depth because I know too many people probably don't play it, but to max out all your guns and the characters you use, which are the frames, takes a while. And it's that part that I really liked. Now, why am I bringing this up? I'm having doubts about going back to Warframe, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just to, I guess, show how I pick my own brain and how logic really fucking fucks me in my own ass. So, I loved Warframe, and I still do. I think it is a really good grinding game. It's not without its problems, which I'm not going to describe too much here, hopefully. But, in general, Warframe is a grinding game, and I kind of completed the grind. And I had a lot of fun on it, and I wasted a lot of time on it. And just the grind itself, again, I can't get too specific because this video will go for an hour, but the grind itself is something I really liked for a lot of the items in game. To get a lot of the items in game, you had to, like, just straight play the same shits over and over again, and I really liked it. At least the way Warframe did it. Now, like I said before, I got most of all that I wanted, which was all of the OP stuff. I have Saren Prime, I got fucking Octavia, and Octavia Prime released, and it's basically a better version of one of my favorite characters. And I was thinking, like, damn, I haven't been on Warframe in a while, I kind of want to go back. And there obviously is some bad memories on there, like, for those of you who know the Ash grind, oh my god, that fucking really changed me in that game. Grinding Ash and grinding, fucking Nidus. Oh my god, those two Warframes were so hard to get. But in general, I love the community, I love the economy, I love the game. Like, it all blends together really well. And in my opinion, Warframe is what Destiny could have been. Like, Destiny, I loved it at first because it had a lot of potential, and I liked the core gameplay of grinding for loot. And I saw a meme that exemplifies Destiny fucking perfectly. It tells you, like, oh, 1 hour in Diablo, and you have a shit ton of loot. 1 hour in Borderlands, you're swimming in loot. 1 hour in Destiny, and you have 1 engram. And it's like, okay, you're just sitting here, like, sad after 1 hour in Destiny and happy in every other game. I would say Warframe is similar to Destiny, where to grind for what specifically you want, sometimes you gotta play for fucking hours and hours on end, which is, you know, insanely ridiculous, but again, I like it because there's a lot of other things there to do. I feel like Warframe is such a more expansive game than Destiny, and it's free. And they have a little hub ship that you can fucking go in and walk around and have pets and have a little companion following around that shoots for you. Like, it's so much fucking better. Oh my fucking god. Fuck Bungie. Fuck their billion-dollar company. Fuck. But as I said, I'm going everywhere in this video. We just, like, jumped through so many different, like, things. Anyway, to kind of get myself back on track, I'm at the point where I want to go back to Warframe, but I don't know if I should. Because it has power creep, and I hate when I'm at the point in the game where nothing really matters. I still love the grind, but like I said before, what am I grinding for? I played Warframe to get the OP frames, and I did. So now, every time they release new content on Warframe, and it's weaker than whatever I have, because what I have is already top tier, I'm not going to wait for small balance changes, which will probably take years to, like, undo the current meta of what's powerful and what's not, to get back on Warframe. I mean, maybe I might, I don't fucking know, but I don't want to do that. And it just gets to the point where I'm questioning, like, yo, I had a lot of fun on Warframe, I really liked grinding it, but I got what I wanted, so if I go back and try and do the new stuff, is there even a point to doing it? And I don't really have, like, an answer, if I'm being honest. I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know if I should go back, I don't know if I shouldn't. And the main thing is, with my mentality towards games, which, as I said before, is I'm a collectionist. I used to play games for fun, and while I still play them and have fun, I don't play them for fun. I play games to collect things, which is fun to me, and sometimes the gameplay itself is fun, but I'm very rarely gonna play a game because I think the gameplay is fun. Honestly, the only thing I could say I kind of do that with is League of Legends, because I love playing Jhin, and I just love his gameplay, and I love AD, and just autoing. Like, that gameplay is so satisfying to me, but I feel like it's tainted because every time you're on League, you're getting something else, which kind of makes me think, like, if all the other systems weren't there in League of gaining levels, gaining loot, gaining tokens, would I still really go back to it for its gameplay? And I would like to say yes, but it's sort of an answer I'll never really know for sure, unless they take everything out, which they're never going to fucking do. So I'm kind of at a standstill right now. And it's even worse because when I play games, I feel like I have to stream them, even though I get no viewers and then no one watches. But anyway, that's a personal problem. As my friend Aaron used to say, that sounds like a personal problem. So, I mean, but what else is the Croissant recap if not me describing my personal opinions and problems? But I won't bore you guys with that because we're already going a little over what I wanted to in terms of time. But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of at that point. I don't know whether I want to play Warframe because I had fun on it, but I'm questioning of whether can I still have fun. That sounded so weird grammatically. Can I still have fun on it? Because I've kind of gotten what I wanted out of the game. And I don't know if I should just wait years to play it, or if I just play it and hope to have enough fun with the gameplay to keep me invested. But then the major problem with Warframe is the gameplay, it's kind of not really gameplay because you just kill everything. So, like, I don't know what to do. But that's enough of Warframe. The other thing I wanted to say is kind of relating to zombies. It wouldn't be a Croissant recap if we don't fucking talk about zombies. You know, it's really unlucky, too, because now that we're in the zombie season of Cold War, if this was before Cold War and I was starting the Croissant recaps, I would have never fucking talked about zombies because there was no news. Like, Black Ops 3, maybe. Black Ops 4, I didn't really care. Black Ops, like Cold War, I care about the zombies. But the zombies. More and more leaks are coming out, and more YouTubers are talking about how Treyarch is going to include more tiers and more, like, things to level up as seasons go on in zombies. And again, I mentioned this in the other Croissant recap, but I'm going to mention it again because it also relates to Warframe. I don't want zombies to become too easy. Even Outbreak itself, if you have the right gun, if you have the right wonder weapons, and if you upgrade, it's hard. It's harder than regular zombies, in my opinion. But it's not that hard. Like, it's not the hardest thing I've seen. Again, one of the hardest things I've seen is probably Shangri-La Black Ops 1. That shit was ridiculous. But, yeah, I'm very scared for the future state of zombies. Power creep in Warframe is one of the main things that is keeping me away from the game because you're too powerful, and I don't want the same thing to happen to zombies. But if they keep releasing more upgrades, unless the upgrades are shit, which is going to be a big disappointment, which is going to turn off the player base from returning to zombies over and over and over again, we're going to have power creep in zombies. I'm calling it. Like, we already seem ridiculous. We're already near superhuman level. Next, we're going to turn into, like, fucking super soldier level, and then we're going to turn into, like, god level if they keep going the route they're going. And again, maybe zombies is just meant to be mindless fun, where you don't really care about dying, but I want it to be a mix. But that's all I'll say for that. The other last thing I kind of wanted to touch on was we keep hearing more and more about the new standalone zombies game. And by more and more, I mean more people on YouTube are talking about it. And I'm getting very fucking excited, as always. But again, I'm super scared about power creep. But one thing that seems to have been nailed in, either to Treyarch and the community, or maybe to just Treyarch, is we need progression. And again, I love Cold War's progression of the crystals and upgrading and shit. It actually makes it worthwhile to keep playing zombies, and it keeps you invested when new stuff is added. And I'll leave out the opinions on power creep for now. The new zombies game, if it's true, and if it comes out and it has the progression system as good or better than Cold War's progression system, I'm going to be very happy. But in total, that's all I really have to talk about today. Excuse me, in this croissant recap. I want to eat my dinner that I've had next to me just getting cold for 20 minutes now. So anyway, I hope you were enlightened. And if not enlightened, I hope you were at least entertained by this Chris Allen recap. I am out of here.